Hello everyone, my name is Ferdinand Radi and I will show presentation uh, my presentation is about metallurgy and the topic is heat treatment of steel. Presentation is from book source is from Metallurgy for the Non-Metallurgy second edition, edited by Arthur C. Riordan. That's the any content in the 6.1 is the iron carbon system. 6.2 is common cause in steel. 6.3 is critical temperature and transformation diagram. 6.4 is annealing and normalizing. 6.5 is types of annealing treatment. 6.6 is furnace heating and induction heating. 6.7 is hardening and tempering. 6.8 is cold treating of steel. 6.6 is cast hardening. 6.10 is heat treating equipment. 6.1 Iron carbon system. Steel are iron with a small amount of carbon. Alloying iron by itself has limited structural fullness because it is soft like more pure metals. One way to increase the strength of a pure metal is to add appropriate alloying element for solid solution threatening. In the picture 17 in chapter 3, mechanical properties and strengthening mechanism. Carbon as a small interstitial element also can increase the strength of iron by solid solution hardening. However, solubility of carbon in iron is very limited, which imposes limits on solid solution hardening of iron with carbon. A more significant role of carbon is its effect the formation of an iron paste called austenite. Iron is an allotropic element, which means that iron atoms change their crystal structure at some specific temperature, known as transformation temperatures. In the 6.2 is a common phase in steel. Heat treatment of steel requires an understanding of both the equilibrium phase and the metastable phase that occur during heating and or cooling. For steel, the stable equilibrium phases include ferrite, austenite, graphite, and to some extent cementite. The metastable phases are perlite, martensite, and bainite. The phases are summarized in table 6.1 and described in more detail in this chapter 2.1. Cementite and perlite formation, the equilibrium iron carbon phase diagram applies then temperature is held constant or when heating and cooling rates are slow enough to approximate equilibrium. Isothermal condition. The extent and shape of cementite formation depends on the amount of carbon and thermal history, as described subsequently. Unlike the isothermal decomposition of past constitution by diffusion, martensite is not a phase associated with thermal equilibrium. It does not appear in the iron carbon equilibrium phase diagram. In contrast, the mechanism of martensitic formation is a diffusionless process where rapid change in temperature causes shear displacement of atoms and the individual atomic movement of less than one interatomic spacing. Bainite is a distinct metastable phase in steel that occurs when cooling rates are not rapid enough to produce martensite but are still fast enough so that carbon does not have enough time to diffuse to form perlite. Like perlite, the constituent phase of bainite are ferrite and cementite. However, the shape of the phases are very different in perlite and bainite. In the 6.3 is critical temperatures and transformation diagram. The critical temperatures of steel differentiate either the onset or completion of phase transformation. Three important critical temperatures in still heat treatment are: one is critical temperature for the start of the transformation to austenite, and then so-called autectoid temperature, which is the minimum temperature required for the austenite to form. A1 is also referred to as the lower critical temperature. A3 is critical temperature for complete transformation of the A plus 2 pressure meter into 100% austenite in the G, referred to as the upper critical temperature. A3 is the high temperature boundary of the A plus solution. Solid solution was a region with carbon content below the autectoid composition of 0.77% degree Celsius, and the ICM critical temperatures for the complete transformation of the G plus Va3 to pass mixture into 100% austenite in the G. The ICM critical temperature is the high temperature boundary of the cementite in solid solution with austenite in hyperactive still. And the 6.4 is annealing and normalizing. Heat treatment are not limited to just hardening and tempering, so various annealing methods are useful in developing more and uniform microstructure and other combination of properties, such as ductility, formability, and machinability. General annealing thermal cycles. Annealing cycles are varied according to the temperature and the method of cooling used. Annealing temperature may be classified as subcritical annealing below the low critical temperature A1, intercritical annealing above A1 but below the upper critical temperature A3 in hypoeauctated steel, or ICM hyperextruded steel. And the 3 is a supercritical annealing to achieve full austenitization of either hypo or hypereauctatoid steel. In the 6.5 is types of annealing and treatment. Annealing treatment have various metallurgical purposes such as stress relief, recrystallization, and separation in the picture 6.24. The feature also include the temperature region for the normalizing of steel, which is a heat treatment to improve the uniformity of steel microstructure. Annealing at subcritical temperature below IC1 include three different temperature regions in the picture 6.24. The first is the temperature range for stress relief annealing. Annealing involves uniform heating of a structure or position thereof and holding on at this temperature for a predetermined period of time, followed by uniform cooling. Stress relief temperature are sufficiently high to help activate the microstructural process of recovery. This is in chapter 3, Mechanical Properties and Strengthening Mechanism in this book, such as the third internal strength and energy is relieved by rearrangement of dislocation into lower energy configuration without any change in the shape of and orientation of grains. In the 6.6 in the 9.6 is a furnace heating and induction heating. Heat treatment of steel involves a wide variety of methods for annealing, normalizing, and hardening and tempering. Full-fired or electrically heated furnaces are used in a wide variety of configurations with various media. Furnaces are also used for thermochemical treatment such as carburizing or nitrating. See in the 9.9 in the gas hardening in this chapter. Induction heating is another important method of heating. Compared to furnace technique, induction heating can often provide energy saving and much higher heating rates than convection, radiation, and conduction. or even flame impingement process. In the 6.7 is hardening and tempering. Hardening of steel involves a three-step process of austenitiation, quenching, and tempering. Sometimes an additional step of cold treating is done at a low temperature below the martensite finished temperature of steel. This ensures through martensitic transformation and the minimization of retained austenite. Quenching refers to the process of rapidly cooling metal parts from the austenizing or solution treating temperature, typically from within the range of 800.815 to 870 degrees Celsius. For hardening medium and low carbon steel to temperatures as high as 1222 degrees Celsius for hardening specific grades of high-speed steel. In the 6.8 in the 9.8 is a cold treating of steel. After hardening, some alloy retaining a significant amount of arsenate that does not transform to martensite. A good example of such a grade is D2 tool steel. It is not unusual for the D2 to have as much as 20% retained austenite after undergoing standard heat treatment. This can lead to corrosion problems for parts that require high dimensional tolerance. In the 6.6 is a cast hardening. Cast hardening is a generic term used for several processes that put a hard, wear-resistant surface layer on a part. This combination of hard surface and resistance to breakage on impact is useful in pads such as a cam or ring gear that must have a very surface to resist wear, along with a toe interior to resist the impact that occurs during operation. In the 9.10 is a heat treating equipment. Hardening of steel involves a three-step process of austenization, quenching, and tempering. Sometimes an additional step of cold treating is done at a low temperature, below the martensite finish temperature of the steel. This ensures through martensitic transformation and the minimization of retained austenite is a quenching refers to the process of rapidly cooling metals parts from the austenitizing or solution treating temperature, typically within the range of 819 to 870 degrees Celsius. For hardening medium and low carbon steel to temperatures as high as 1222 and 32 degrees Celsius for hardening specific grades of high-speed steel, while stainless and high alloy steel may be quenched to minimize the presence of grains, boundary carbides, or to improve the ferrite distribution. Most steel includes carbon, low alloy, and tool steel, are quenched to produce controlled amount of martensite in the microstructure. And overall my presentation. Thank you.